Now, Fat Joe recently has jumped off the roof. Look, this whole FBA commentary has really gotten to this man. Y'all have hurt this man's feelings. You can see it in his face.
It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
He was very upset. He went on Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion podcast, and he said some very disrespectful things toward the FBA community. But before we get into it, please do me one small favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Now, I'm not gonna share the actual video. I'm just gonna do the whole screen capture because Math Hoffa does strike pages with opinions that differs from his. I've saw evidence that he does.
The FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is.
But whatever the case is, Fat Joe is carrying this anger from this conversation that has been going on since Tariq Nasheed dropped Microphone Check. And it talks about the origin of hip hop. Kyrie Irving, one of my favorite athletes, happens to be executive producer of this. Now, this has sparked a lot of conversations, and Fat Joe has been one of the faces of being a contrarian to some of the evidence provided in this. Me personally, what I'm gonna say about it is, come on, you know, I'll never take the credibility away from the West Indies and Latin people that they did contribute to hip hop, but they were not the founders and creators of hip hop. If so, where's hip hop in Puerto Rico? How come they didn't create their own version of hip hop in Puerto Rico around the same time? You can say the same thing about the West Indies, right? Jamaicans do have what they call toasting, but that's not the same as hip hop, and I believe that too has some originality in American music. Now, the main culprit of his anger was Lord Jamar, and he really went in on Lord Jamar.
We got a Looney Tune like your man Lord Jamal, who's a Looney Tune.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Lord Jamar has responded. Here's his response here, but he came up with an interesting resolution that I want to talk about.
You know, called me loony, said I was the wackest one, brand Nubian. So yeah, let's just go by, address thing by thing, really, you know what I mean? And see. So at one point he said the Foundational Black Authority, or he said whoever those broke niggas are, right? So that got me to thinking, right? First of all, Joe has an album out right now. And just like how the Democratic Party kind of expected foundational Black Americans to just support it just because, I think Fat Joe thinks that although he has a gripe with foundational Black Americans, I think he believes that we're gonna go out there and support his new venture like we've done in the past. Well, people, I think it's time that we decide who sits at the cool table and who doesn't. I feel that all foundational Black Americans should boycott Fat Joe's new album. I believe, and at the same token, I believe all Puerto Ricans should go out and support it. That being said, I'd like to see how well it does. Because what all these people don't understand is, all these people who have been ingratiated by hip hop, is that
what I have to say about this is, let's look at the two, and let's look at what they contributed to hip hop. Lord Jamar, brand Nubian, they have way more of a positive aspect on what they have brought to the table as far as hip hop. Fat Joe has brought nothing but gangster shit, shooting people up, killing and robbing to hip hop. You know, I don't think that's nothing to be proud of. And I think it's definitely like that because in his time, labels were still putting out albums where people had a positive message, right? Maybe a little bit different today, but in his time, they were still putting out those type of albums. This guy is just really upset.
Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Now, FBA is a lineage, but it is also an LLC organization, and this organization is ran by Tariq Nasheed, and it sounded like Fat Joe was taking a shot at Tariq Nasheed.
You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader? Oh, man.
So let's see what Tariq had to say.
You can't help us win elections, and the Negras ain't really listening to you like that. What do we need you for? Why are we building you up like this? So Fat Joe sounded like he just went scorched earth. He was on Math Hoffa's show. And from what I understand, Math Hoffa, brother Math, is a Caribbean gentleman. It's okay, that's fine, but just putting everything in context. And Fat Joe was there just taking shots at us, boy. He was like, yeah, the FBAs, a bunch of broke niggas, and yeah, Foundational Black Authority or whatever. I don't know if that was a shot at Jason Black. I don't know, but he was, and yeah, and their leader, yeah, he talking about some leader. I guess he was taking a shot at me, which I'm not a leader of anything. Yeah, they just hate everybody. They hate everybody who ain't them. Yeah, they hate everybody who ain't them. They broke and okay, all right. But he just went real disrespectful. And some of those dudes in there were kind of Kakan and Kikin, and people are like, okay, what's up with them? Yeah, to put it in context, they're Caribbean. So they have more of a camaraderie with Fat Joe than us. I just want y'all to understand, a lot of Caribbeans, they have more of a camaraderie with their fellow immigrants, like the Latino. Can just portray individuals identifying as the foundational Black American, part of some kind of coordinated group with a single agenda. You understand? And, you know, that simplifies a lot of the complex discussions that we have about the cultural, social, and historic contributions of foundational Black Americans. You see? And another thing they want to do, because we have taken control of the narrative, this is their weak, feeble attempt of trying to reframe the narrative and take control of it through a bunch of straw man arguments. Because see, we've made a power move by delineating. We have said collectively, based on our lineage, we're not going to build some minority coalition. We're not people of color. We're foundational Black Americans. We're not African Americans. We're not lost Africans. We don't want everybody tacking themselves onto us, all right? We are our own ethnic group, and we have certain things that's significant and pertinent to our lineage, and we kind of want to focus on that right now. Family, do y'all know how devastating that is to all of these? Because the people leech off foundational Black Americans. They've been leeching off of us left and damn right, and playing a Jedi mind trick on us, talking about we ain't got no culture. They're the ones who don't have no damn culture, if you want to be honest, because we ain't belly aching about them. These people stay whining about us and whining about what we're doing and whining about us letting them hold their own nuts. Because the thing is, we're not trying to tear anybody down. We're just saying, hey, fight your own battle. Oh, how could you do this to us? You niggas hate us because I'm not fighting your battles for you? We hate you because we're not fighting your battles? Look at this sense of entitlement. Yeah, we're not doing that no more. We've done that way too long. We've been fighting everybody's battles, and what has that gotten us? We're fighting our own damn battles right now. We sit here fighting for everybody and welcome everybody in and cape for them, and we get all bloodied and bruised, and they step over us and say, hey, yeah, we did this 50-50.
Math Hoffa, the interviewer, I know he's Jamaican. I come from old school journalism. And old school journalism, when you're interviewing someone, right, you're supposed to let the person you interview crash out, right? Do I appreciate the hee and ha from Math Hoffa that he was doing with this? No, not really. You know, I do think he could have came with some other questions to ask Fat Joe after he crashed out, because Fat Joe crashed out. Let me get to that. Fat Joe definitely crashed out. He generalized. He wasn't just talking about the, how can I say this? The cult members of FBA. He wasn't talking about them. He pretty much said everybody that claims that bloodline, FBA ADOS, right? Call us broke ass niggas. Now, I don't have to really roast Fat Joe like that because Fat Joe's Puerto Rican. And we all sat there and watched for 3 days how the whole world laughed because Tony Hinchcliffe called them a trash country.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Right, they're a trash country. That's what Tony Hinchcliffe said. That wasn't my words. Tony Hinchcliffe said, he called them a trash country. So I think that's kind of rich coming from a guy where we were just watching them all call him a trash country and calling us broke ass niggas. We actually created a platform for someone like him to come and become a millionaire, right? And that just comes down with the gatekeeping, and I'm trying to do my part with it, okay? You could also kind of say the same thing for Math Hoffa. I actually got interested in battle rap from watching Math Hoffa, but it was based on negativity. Y'all remember when he dose, right? So even that was based on negativity. Now, of course, a lot of y'all are, I can tell, are upset at Math Hoffa. Me personally, I didn't really like the laughing that he was doing, but that is what it is, man. He's been going through a lot himself this year with Hassan Campbell, man. My son, Hassan Campbell, he's been pretty much pointing out all these allegations that Math Hoffa has been going through all year. So I'll just leave that alone.
This topic right here that I'm addressing with right here tonight, I just thought it was real funny how Ike Hoffa would actually flag my post on Instagram for bullying and harassment. Yeah, the video that was uploaded on my Instagram with him physically putting his hands on his girlfriend and trying to force her out the apartment with no clothes on.
Now, if you know the FBA community like I know the FBA community, they go hard in the paint on X. And, yo, they've been trying to get his Nike deal taken away. And, of course, you got some clowns like this who is trying to alert Nike, oh, well, this is not the case. I don't know why this conversation has been bothering Fat Joe as much. I don't know why. I give them their respect as far as helping cultivate it. And I believe no one takes that away from them. I think you would lose credibility saying that they wasn't a part of cultivating it, but they didn't create it. And I just think that's the simplicity of the conversation. They didn't invent it and they didn't create it. End of the conversation, right? All this disrespecting, it's just gonna lead to more divisiveness. But you tell me how you feel about this in the comment section. I'm interested in hearing it. But whatever the case, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I'll see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved.